Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're brought to you by our friends at the Navy Federal Credit Union. Anybody that's ever been around the Navy women's tennis program raves about it, raves about watching the women, but also the great young women that they are. Pleased to be joined by Sia Chaudry, and being able to sit in the auditorium yesterday and wait for y'all's name to come up on the screen. What was that feeling like to see those four letters come up on that screen, knowing you guys are in the NCAA tournament?
Mm-hmm. It was unbelievable. We were all super excited when we walked into that room. I know like how that video works. I've seen the one from last year, and I know like you never know where you are in the draw. So everyone's just on the edge of their seats, and like we didn't know if we'd be at the top of the draw, the bottom of the draw, or the middle. But once they started talking about the Patriot League championship, like we knew that would be us. And yeah, it was really exciting. Like I don't know, we were kind of just like, wow, like we're in the tournament.
Look, it's an incredibly tough league you play in. Obviously, you beat a tremendous competitor, a couple of them, quite frankly, in the Patriot League tournament. To see you and your teammates rewarded, though, for all of the time, the effort that you put in, and beating a quality foe to get there. What is that feeling like? Because I know that the journey is so long, especially to be a champion in a very tough league.
Oh yeah, definitely. That feeling means a lot to all of us. I think like I can't say it enough. Like we put in a lot of work this year. Obviously each team works really hard, but I think at the bottom of it, it comes down to the chemistry between each teammate and like how much we trust in one another. And I think as a team, we grew throughout the year. We got closer on and off the court, so we were able to trust in one another. And when it came down to those tough moments, like we were able to perform in the Patriots. So yeah, we're really proud of that. It's still kind of an unbelievable feeling when it's happening, but I think we were able to do all the right things leading up to that moment. So yeah.
There's a lot of individual quality that has to happen for a tennis team to be successful. How important is it, as you mentioned, to develop that trust and that, hey, when there's a tough moment, you can come to me, I can help, or vice versa, where you just saying, hey, anybody has something, feel free. I'm here in a situation like that. Because I'm sure there's moments where you all have to lean on each other during the course of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's also really key at an institution like this. Like we have the upper class and the underclass, and we do train the underclass when we go up the class levels. But we always remind each other that we're there for each other whenever we need support. Like coming from our team captain, first of all, like I think Stella's like one of the most supportive, understanding, like kind people I've ever met. And like she kind of set that tone for the rest of us. So if any of the plebes like they need help with anything, they're always like welcome to come to us for anything. And yeah, once we build that trust, I know in the beginning of the year it's like hard, like you don't really know anyone that well, especially the incoming class. But once we get to know each other better, like we spend a lot of time with each other, and we see each other more than we see our company. Or yeah, like even though we see our company all the time. So it's really important to gain that chemistry so that, yeah, like especially in the tough moments. I can give an example of Parv and clinching Army and Kate clinching Boston. Like we had to have faith in each other that we could do it. They were both down in the third set for that, but all of us cheering on the sidelines knew that they were capable of winning, and they did that.
Let's talk about a couple of big moments for you. Semifinals, you got to avenge the loss to your opponent from Army. What's especially in close proximity, those two matches, not far away from each other. What was the key to turning the tables this time around to give you a chance to play, obviously, in the finals?
Mm-hmm. I definitely, after my loss in that match previously in the N-Star match, I really reflected a lot about how kind of that roller coaster of a match turned. I think I had the momentum in the beginning, and then things started to shift, and it just shows how mental the game of tennis is. Like I think like your brain and like all your thoughts, like that could either be your biggest strength or your biggest weakness. So I did a lot of reflecting after my previous match, and looked over the notes of how to play her differently to like technique wise. And I think I had a lot more faith and confidence in myself the second time I played her and stuck to my game plan rather than backing off in those tough moments. So I was really proud of the way that I kept going, especially in that second set. And I think that gave me more confidence for the next day against Boston too.
Let's talk about the roller coaster then in the opposite direction the next day. Kind of get rocked back on your heels there in that first set. And yet, okay, no problem. Let's move to set two. And you really took command from there. How does a tennis player do that in a match like that? So much pressure riding on the result, and your opponent just comes out and blisters it there in the first set, but yet you're able to re-rally there and take 12 of the next 17 games.
Yeah, definitely what you were saying, like so much pressure in those moments. I think I kind of let that take control of me in the first set. Like I knew how big of a moment that match was and that day was for our team. Like we had the chance of making history, and like I was just thinking about that too much in that first set. Couldn't really think about my game or each point or like what I was really doing. So I kind of reset after the first set, and I was like, who are you doing this for? It's not just for you, you know, like we have our motto, not for self. Like I'm fighting for my teammates out here. Like I need to show them that I can actually fight, like win or lose. Like I can't be just doing what I was doing in the first set. So yeah, I think mentally I switched gears, and I just try to take a new like turn towards the second and third set. And I think once I did that early on in the second set, like it was pretty close in the beginning, but once I was able to get the edge, I think I got into my opponent's head mentally. So I kind of used that to my advantage.
What's it like to watch a teammate battle? And I mean, look, I mean, that tiebreaker is probably one of the most epic tiebreakers in Navy women's tennis history. You know, what she did was just ridiculous in that situation. What's it like to watch that, though? And how inspiring is it as she's doing it to try and give her the strength to finish this thing and get to the finish line?
Yeah, no, that was definitely a crazy moment. All of us were just like, I can't even explain it. Like, we were so invested, like, as we should be, but it was like, it was just an unexplainable feeling. Like, but again, like, we had the faith and trust in her that she could do it, even though she was down like 5-1 in the tie break, 4-6. But that just watching our teammates like put out like that gives us so much strength, and like it honestly helps us do better in our matches. Like I finished before her, but I saw her coming back before that tie break, and that's what helped me finish out my match. And I know she said that my match helped her come back too. So I think we can really look at each other, like even if we're playing next to each other, and that'll give us strength to keep going. But yeah, what she did was unbelievable.
Yeah, Kate will certainly, that performance will go down in Navy lore, that's for sure. I'll let you out on this. Obviously, you played a lot of high level tennis before you got to Navy. You could have really gone anywhere you wanted. Why the Naval Academy for you?
I think first off, it was the people here, and just the camaraderie that you build with your peers around you. Like how you said, how we have such like the chemistry that we have, I think is like family. And I really admired that on my visit here. And I think that was the biggest reason that I came here. Yeah.
Awesome stuff, Midlothian, Virginia. Sia Chaudry. Sia, appreciate you taking the time for us. Best of luck to you and your teammates in the NCAA tournament.
Thank you so much.